This one is hard to accept, but let's talk about it. When we're triggered, that's because there's something inside of us that believes what the other person said could possibly be true. Let's say somebody says you're a bad fill in the blank, you're a bad friend, you're a bad worker, whatever it is. If you're triggered by that, if it hurts your feelings, that's because there's a part of you that believes that might be true, regardless if it's true or not. Because if somebody was to call you a hamster, you'd be like, okay, they're crazy, and walk away. There's no part of you that believes that to be true. If somebody was to say you're a horrible skydiving instructor and you're obviously not a skydiving instructor, there's no part of you that would be offended because you know that's not true. However, when we are offended by something that is said to us, it's because there's a part of ourselves that believes that to be true. Whether or not it is actually true, there's a part of us that believes, could that be true? For example, if somebody was to say, you're a horrible writer and I just finished publishing my first book, it would get me in my feels. Understandably, because there's a minute part of me that's like, but is that true? Once we realize this, once we realize that a lot of times our triggers aren't necessarily based on what the other person said. Yes, they shouldn't have said that, but our reaction to that outside stimuli is on us to figure out, why am I triggered? It becomes easier to kind of separate ourselves from that situation and look inward and be like, okay, well, why was I triggered by that? Is there something in that statement that I believe to be true? A lot of times the answer is yes, regardless if the information is true or not.